Hey viewers, how's it going? My name's DividableHalo HD. Today I am joined by maybe Michael from the United Golden Nation. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Alright, so maybe Michael, when did you first join the Halo clan community?
I joined in late 2012. I was actually on Halo Reach a little bit before that, but I didn't get involved into the community until late 2012. Um, Started out in a small Halo Reach clan, literally called the military. I was added to the Navy division for only 3 days, and then a rebellion started in which I was asked to help lead it, and then eventually won the rebellion and came out as a leader of a clan. After about a year of just doing competitive matches and trying to figure out what raids were, I decided to move on to Halo 4, and that is where I met multiple clans such as the UNR, the UUF, and LOS. They got me involved with the failed alliance, the GCA, as I led a clan called the Liberty Knights. Um, so that's when I kind of started trying to figure things out. There was a lot of familiar faces there: Century Strike, Ling Ling Killer, Puffy JUHR, Vorgaka, many Halo 4 faces that were popular. But then, as Halo 4 began to grow old already, we did move to Halo Reach, and we created a new clan called the New Halo Republic, in which we immediately invaded the DGA clan, led by Michelle. Um, a lot of clans took notice of this quickly, including Icelandosaurus, who kind of introduced me to the entire Halo Reach community. And over time, he's been extremely helpful to me, and that's just kind of how I started.
Alright, so basically, when did you first decide to kind of create the UGN? Or was that afterwards once you kind of got introduced?
Yes, it was about 2 years afterwards when I decided to make UGN. Of course, like a few other leaders, I had a lot of failed attempts of making clans. I was never really in that big, huge power clan where I can learn a lot of stuff. I was, just started out leading, trying to figure out things for my own, and took a lot of failed attempts. But one day on a UN execution map, I decided to go ahead and try for something, and me and my friend are Crisis and Little Grippers currently decided to make the UGN. We're trying to come up with a name, and that's what we stuck with.
Alright. So I believe you guys also created something like Arcan Nation or something like that.
Yeah, Arcadia Nation was quickly after a huge UGN rise in power, and things, I guess you could say, were overwhelming. We had the commandos in, but both commando leaders, Wagner and Shaky Savage, had to take a leave. One was on vacation, the other went to a boot camp. So their younger leader kind of took over and became kind of cocky, started roaming around, causing trouble, so we got rid of them. But at the time, there was a lot of internal things that could have been better, so we decided to make the Arcadia Nation, which is kind of like a 2 week break. We decided that it was a pretty bad attempt, and we went back to the UGN close later.
Now, the Arcan Nation, was that something like trying to get people to change their gamer tags as well?
Um, the Arcadia Nation did have an ARC family. It kind of stayed around through the UGN era between August 10th and October 29th, but then it kind of faded out eventually when we decided to just start changing our gamer tags, and we knew we were kind of stick together anyways, so we didn't really need a gamer tag to prove it.
Alright. So what happened towards or what happened more in the clan before MCC, or before your big move to MCC? Was there any wars, any conflict?
Well, a lot of clans were prepping for MCC, and we were one of the few clans that kind of stayed, kind of waited until, packing up and moving. So that left a lot of young leaders rising up, and they were causing trouble just because they were ignorant. We did have a few wars with Dark Assassin, who used to lead ROR. He had quite a conflict with the uh, clan in the summer known as Atlas. He was currently leading the HFS. That was really the most known conflict. I believe we had a small conflict with the UGFR, led by Marine Caboose. but we are fine now, and he has his own channel, which is doing fine. We do get along, but yeah, we just had small conflicts repeatedly, just trying to help out young leaders who were attacking randomly. And even though we were kind of hurting their clans, we eventually talked to them, and hopefully they got some type of learning experience out of it.
All right. Now, as for UGN Media, your media is literally Dave, right?
Literally, Dave is the head of it. We also have Halianth, who is the assistant in that, and also a new person coming up, which is Sentinel.
All right. So, I've heard that there's also been some conflict or something that went wrong within your channel on how it got hacked or password revealed. Do you know? Do you want to enlighten us on what happened exactly?
Yes, the recent, I guess it wasn't recent anymore, but the former Vice Chancellor, Puma, or Tobias Salvius, you may know him, or the new John for his own clan, or Tyler Twyman on Facebook, he was the owner of the channel at the time. We didn't realize that he was kind of angry at us, and there was a misunderstanding in which he gave the password to Darknet, which Vash of Reach, who's currently in Navcom, took advantage of, and he made the video, deleted a lot of our videos and all that. But a couple days later, Tyler sort of messed up and gave us a password to his Facebook, or not his Facebook, but his email account, in which we realized it was the same password for his Facebook. So I went in, got into the chats, and he soon gave us the password to the channel, and we forgave him. He apologized over and over again, and now we're on good terms when we do have our channel back.
All right. Now, literally, Dave has told me personally that iSlayer UK helped with you guys getting your channel back.
Um, he was not involved really with the hacking of it. He was involved with Darknet. As far as helping get the channel back, I kind of let Dave talk to Slayer most of the time. I'm not exactly aware of how much he helped us in that small conflict, but he was trying to be a helping hand throughout that.
All right. So you guys waited like a couple like days or a while before moving on to basically Halo MCC. And when moving on to Halo MCC, did you drop any of your members, or was everybody like prepared for it?
People who did not have an Xbox One were unfortunately left behind for a short period of time. It was kind of saddening having to leave a lot of members. We went to go check. We were assuming that it was just going to be a great game that we could all work on. And people were excited. They were getting their Xbox Ones. And those that were left behind, some of them just waited for us to come back. Others took kind of a grudge against me and went to other clans. But yes, some members were kind of dropped, unfortunately.
All right. So what happened, and what was basically the experience once you moved to MCC?
The experience was quite awful. As far as MCC goes, we made maps, we were excited, hoping the patch would fix it. We waited way too long, in my opinion. As far as playing on other games, there was a lot of dramatic Minecraft, but there was no fun at all on MCC. We tried to do matchmaking, too many problems with that. Had more fun on Forge 1v1s than anything else on MCC. It was quite awful. We tried to host a meeting once, and there was a lag out. So, yeah.
Alright, so MCC was basically unsuitable for you to host your own clan on.
Pretty much, yeah.
Alright, now, in the future, I believe around the time when this ODST is supposed to come out with the DLC, and there's supposed to be another patch for the game, will you be moving to MCC? Because I believe one thing that they were like talking about was improving joining session due to the Halo Champion series being like canceled because of connection problems.
At that point, I feel as though it would be useless to go there to restart by getting new government officials, members, leaders who don't have Xbox Ones. I just find it would be too much of a pointless hassle. Also, I mean, considering Halo 5 will be coming out also like right after they probably fix that, I don't want to restart twice in that short period of time. So we're probably not going to move to MCC unless everyone just moves and we're the only ones left on Reach. Then we'll probably go.
All right. So will you guys be moving to Halo 5 possibly or no?
We are gonna check it out. In my opinion, that's pretty much the only hope we have. We can't stay on Reach forever. So I will check it out for about a week. We'll probably make our move to Halo 5 premature. Hopefully it's not too bad. But we are going to go there, and we're going to see if it works. I've heard good things about it. I've seen good things about it, so I'm hoping that it will be a successful launch, and our community can be more active and interesting again.
All right. So when the UGN decided to move back to Halo Reach, what exactly happened? Were you like welcome back to the community, or did you have to like start from the bottom, or what happened
Um,
exactly?
well, we were kind of having talks, and we didn't know what we were going to do. There was contemplation on going to GTA, which we soon found out that was not going to be a thing. So one day I just told Dave, alright, we gotta go back to Reach. We just have to do this. So we're a video launch. We received a lot of support, and first day back, I believe we had 14 members in the lobby. Second day back, we were pulling full lobbies every day, and we thought it was going to be a really good time. But recently we've had some small internal problems. But the day we came back, we received a lot of support.
All right. Now, you guys have been, or the UGN to be precise, has been like accused of being part of the SDA alliance, even though the SDA is supposed to only consist of the UNSC clans.
We were in the SDA for a bit. That is true. Um, After Garusa, I'm guessing he's mostly jealous of a lot of events that have happened, and he just got angry, took off and left, made up a bunch of lies trying to start problems between Exodus and the UGN, and he said that Exodus had some problems against us and wanted to start a conflict, so that obviously hyped me up and kind of made me angry. So yes, we did join SDA. After we hit a huge problem internally, we stepped out of the SDA and quickly returned, but now we are no longer in the SDA. So people have said we've switched back and forth multiple times. No, we've been in the SDA twice, and we have finally decided to stay neutral.
All right. So, were you guys obviously friendly with the SDA clans, such as Navcom?
Yes, Navcom, I have a lot of good friends in Navcom. I also have good friends in Exodus. But Navcom, for a short period of time, did join UGN until they were motivated to come back to Reach. So they did help me out quite a bit.
All right. So, recently there's also been some conflict. This is more modern news, and this is like Exodus trying to raid UGN and saying how basically when they join a lobby or something with UGN members, you guys end the game right away. So, what's going on with that exactly?
I've heard no reports. None of my members have any idea what they're talking about exactly. They may have joined a recruits game, and he didn't know any better and kicked them. But there was one notable day, and that was on Easter afternoon. We were taking pictures in our capital, ended the game, and they were invited to the game somehow. I believe it was my friend Grip, just as a joke. As the game was ending, they joined. They appeared in the lobby. I didn't know they joined until we actually got in the lobby. And they were sitting there going, oh, we want to raid, we want to raid. And I was like, no, it's Easter. I'm about to go do some things. And Garusa, who was apparently leading the charge, was actually getting yelled at. And was just being insulted completely by his own members, which I thought was funny, for trying to raid us on Easter. And Shaky Divine claims to be there, but I didn't see him there. He says he was in the game playing, but I find that impossible considering the game was ending. And he tries to prove to me a picture of him being in the game, but it's just a Facebook chat and the same picture that I have. So we've had no reports of them trying to raid us in games, except one, and that was on Easter. And they received actual insults, Garusa did, for trying to raid on Easter from their own clan.
All right. So basically, there was also some other conflicts that happened, like once you returned back to Halo Reach after MCC's failure, and I believe some of it was with August Divine, I believe, or more other people. So, do you want to weigh in on what happens, like some other side events?
Yeah, I guess there was kind of a rise with UUF for that short period of time, and they had some support from ASM, who had a lot of support into UUF. And ASM declared war on us one day after using one of their members to assassinate me in a battle, I think, between the SDA and Exodus that we were in. And they tried to take that as them winning something against us, and we just kind of laughed at that. They also assassinated the proud private Arc Sigma. I thought that was pretty funny. And they claimed after we beat them in a 4v4 raid, which was kind of odd, they claimed that it was just a war to unite us and to get us going. So I don't know what that was really about.
So from first-hand experience, I was in the UUF, and I believe that they were also trying to get UUF to raid you guys, but we declined basically their offers. So just to clear that up quickly.
Yeah, and, there were some things there. I talked to Sentry Echelon afterwards, and he said, yeah, they were asking for help.
All right. So going back to this now, are you guys currently involved in any alliances with the SDA or participating in the war between Triad?
We're not participating in the war. I'm actually kind of, I don't know. Both sides have their own reasonings, and I'm trying to get the history all cleared up. And it's kind of hard to choose a side, because we'd like to get involved hopefully this summer. We are allied with NAVCOM, I think. Rorschach of the Marines did somehow made an alliance. I know NAVCOM doesn't have allies, but he asked for an alliance meeting and to make an alliance, and I'm not sure if that is still active today. But we would like to get involved this summer if it still continues into the summer. We just don't know at this point, actually, what side to get involved with, or if we should just stay neutral and work on our own. But as far as making alliances, we are working on a small project with the Valiant Alliance. That name could change, but it's mainly for medium to big clans that we'd like to get involved, like as a board. Not to organize the community or anything, but just to keep it active and try to get things going within that alliance.
Alright, so is there anything else you'd like to cover? Like anything of your experience that I didn't ask within the community?
Well, I mean, as far as the UGN goes, right now we are going through some internal problems that we definitely need to fix. Last summer, we conquered ACH and 13 other clans that were involved in their coalition to take us down. But recently, I guess the only thing that's really hurt us as far as internally is the fact that the game's been out for 5 years, and we're close to 5 years, and that we've been kind of in a lot of trouble because of that. People are just kind of tired of the game a little bit. So we're trying to get that motivation and organization back into UGN to keep it going. We still can pull full lobbies. That's not a problem. But as far as expanding to 2 is the problem right now.
Alright. Now, basically, I have another question. Why did you decide to name it the United Golden Nation? Now, many people have made like remarks of like it kind of being like a childish name, like Golden Nation, or like having. But later on, other people said that it kind of just fit the name for UGN. But why did you decide to name it that?
It is kind of interesting. Originally, the term golden was to be more of a metaphorical term, not a color term. We were just sitting on the UN execution map after a failed rebellion happened. It was kind of awkward. And I was like, listen, guys, we need to change this entirely. I changed sometimes a little bit too much, and I kind of said, we need something to unite in it. And then we were looking for an adjective, and we're like, golden, that can mean multiple things, alright, yeah. And someone was like, nation. So we just kind of stuck with it and based a lot of stuff off it. And after a friend of mine started the hashtag Stay Golden thing, we just started using the color gold multiple times. And now it's kind of the main thing in UGN right now with our emblem color and such. So,
Right.
yeah.
Another question is, why is the UGN always changing their clan emblem?
That is me being kind of young, ignorant, and too ambitious. I've controlled myself more lately. A lot more votes has been coming out for certain changes, and I think we have found a set program for this entire summer. I think I'm done changing for a while. I've tried to self-control, and I think that's under control now, and I think we're just keeping this uniform for the rest of the summer. for everybody's sake.
All right. And going back to basically emblems, Archivan Nation, it was basically taken by another person named Wolverine or Commando Arc. What is your opinion on him basically taking your emblem, your basically old clan name, and also stealing basically all the graphics that originally would belong to it, and including kind of having his last name in like Commando as Arc?
Yeah, honestly, I think it's cute, but he can. I mean, I have no problem with it. We don't like the section of our past with Arcadian Nation, and we don't like it to be brought up a lot, especially me. So he can keep it. I'm fine with it. If he wants to do his own little thing with it, I don't care. As long as he's not really tying things back to me and trying to tell everyone that I'm kind of his master, that would be great. Um, so, I mean, I'm fine with him keeping it. I don't know if he still has that name, but I don't really have a huge problem with it, but it is a little bit uncomfortable.
All right. Um, what is also with the basically names of maybe Michael, literally Dave? Is there like anyone else that has like names sort of like that, gamer tags?
There's some other people looking to do it. It one day, I mean, I was coming home from a tournament. I was gonna be changing my name to something with Michael on it. Dave wanted to be literally Dave for a while, so we just both kind of changed it. There's nothing really tied to it as far as a family goes, but there is some others in the clan who are kind of looking to do it. There is one named Just Johnny Boy, but he's the other one that kind of has that type of gamer tag at the moment.
Now, before you've also had your name as John, right?
Yeah.
And Dave has had his name as Jim.
Yeah. Um, from what he's told me, whenever he was 11 in the UUF, he told everyone his name was Jim to avoid being found and bullied or captured. He was terrified, so he named everything, his Skype account, everything Jim. And people still call him Jim to this day, like really old vets. So, he told me that one day just randomly. So I feel kind of bad for him that he just randomly called himself Jim for a long time. But, yeah, I think that's all gone now.
All right. So moving on to the last question, because I believe you covered everything. Um, why? How do you believe, like, basically, the community can improve, or basically any advice to anyone that's watching this video? How can basically the community improve and basically grow even more than it is right now?
I feel like the community is not dying, but slowly becoming inactive. We're not really promoting these new leaders who are coming up. It's taking a while to get these new leaders noticed, getting them in Facebook groups, and if we do get them noticed and added to groups and in meetings, we somewhat put them down. We're extremely negative towards new people. Um, I mean, Wolverine's an exception. He just causes problems. But just these new leaders that I see can actually pull some good lobbies, make some good decisions. We simply ignore and put down. When honestly, if we got them up, then they may do more active things and bring some news to the community and make it interesting. I think the only problem is that the community just isn't as interesting right now.
All right. So I believe that is all we have. Is anything I missed?
No, I don't believe so.
All right. I would like to thank you, Michael, for being on this interview.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me.
Yep, no problem. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like. If you guys have any comments, leave it down in the comments below. I'm pretty sure Michael might be looking for through some of these comments, or even Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, and that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys all later. Bye.